Hi, Facebook live stream viewers. You're backstage with Change It Up Radio. I'm Paula Shaw, and I'm delighted you're here with us. We have a very special show today. Someone very special to me is with us, and that is Lynell Hamilton.
How you doing?
Lynell is a former player with the Saints, and today he is the president and national director of the NFL Alumni Association. So, yep, you guessed it. We're talking football. So stay with us because Lionel will be back in just a few minutes. Okay.
All right. Tired of the rut you're stuck in, but don't know what to do? Change it up. Join life transitions therapist, speaker, and best-selling author Paula Shaw. She'll be exploring topics that make change and the challenge it presents smoother and more productive. She'll also be spotlighting change makers who are leading the charge to make the world a better place. If you're ready to live a more exciting life, at home, in the workplace, and around the world, it's time to step out of your comfort zone and change it up. Now, here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Welcome to Change It Up Radio, here with Paula Shaw. I'm delighted to have you with me today, and I am very excited about this show because we are going to be talking football with Lynell Hamilton, former Saint and current president of the San Diego chapter of the NFL Alumni Association, and he's also the national director of that association. So you can bet on the fact that this man knows football, and we will be talking with him in just a few minutes. Those of you who follow the show know that we are all about change. We are a show that wants to spotlight change makers and people who are trying to make the world a better place. And we also try to bring information to you to help you deal with change in a smoother, more productive way. Because we humans, we have this love-hate relationship with change. We need it to grow and to stay interested in life, and yet we hate the discomfort of the unfamiliar. So here at Change It Up Radio, we're trying to make that all a little bit simpler for you and a little more enjoyable. Those of you who follow us also know that I'm Paula Shaw. I'm an author, a speaker, a life transitions coach, and of course, the host of this show. So my work is really about dealing with change, helping people who are going through change. And I do that using the tools of energy psychology and other mind-body techniques, which help people move through change much more easily and much more rapidly because we bypass a lot of the conscious mind and work more with the subconscious, which is really the powerhouse. Your conscious mind is only about 10% of your mind's ability. The subconscious is 95%. So if we can work with that subconscious, we can make bigger differences at a quicker pace. So as I mentioned, and two things I do want to tell you before I move into what I wanted to talk about. If you would like to get more information about this show or find out about being a sponsor or a guest on this show, please go to changeitupradio.com. And if you want more information about me or my work, or you'd like to schedule a complimentary consultation with me, you can get that information at paulashaw.com. Okay, now I get to get into talking about what I'm so excited about because many of you who know me know I've been a football nut for quite some time. And it's that time of year, isn't it? Where even if you're not into football, you're talking about the Super Bowl. You're talking about who's going to play, who you want to win, where you'll be watching that game, and all the festivities that go with the Super Bowl. It's almost like a national holiday, isn't it? It's a very big and a very special day. And as I was preparing this show, I started pondering the question of why is football such a big thing? Why is it that so many people love it and so many people are so into it? So let's look at that for a minute and just kind of play with some ideas about why. So, one of the first things that came to me is we all have our inner child. And for most of us walking around in our adult bodies, our inner children don't get much time to play. There are not too many places in our adult lives where we get to jump up and down and scream and laugh and make crazy movements and all that sort of thing. But we do when we're watching football. We gather at stadiums to do it. We gather in people's homes to do it. Even sitting in front of your own TV on a Sunday, you might find yourself jumping up and down, shaking your fists, you know, filled with glee or miserable and even angry at what's going on. So I feel like this roller coaster of emotions that people get to experience when they're watching football, it's cleansing. It's healthy. You know, we need to express our feelings, and football gives us a great excuse. Another thing about football that's really amazing is it gives us an ongoing opportunity to celebrate athletes who have worked hard to hone their skills, many of them for years. And then we get to see the excellence with which they carry those skills out in this goal of winning the game. It's kind of like the Olympics, you know, only it goes on so much longer. So I think that's a wonderful thing about football. It also offers people the opportunity to see teamwork at its best because no one player can win a football game. It's got to be teamwork. It has to be a group effort. And I think today we're learning more and more in every area of our lives that when we work as a team, we're stronger. We can accomplish more. There's so much more that can be done, and it doesn't have to be as hard on one person. So football is a great opportunity to see teamwork at its best. Another thing I love about football is it's one of the sports that inspires young people to be their best. They get involved with sports, and now they're into healthy living, strong body, strong mind, focus. It kind of, I feel like, is a real deterrent to kids just getting out in the streets and hanging out or doing alcohol or drugs or sitting for hours at a time playing video games. Sports is a magical way that we humans can get on our feet and get moving and become better and become healthier and become stronger. So I'm very, very big on that. And in fact, my guest today, Lynell Hamilton, grew up in Stockton, California, in the inner city. And one of the reasons his dad really supported him in his love of football, which started as young as about 9 years old, was because his parents knew that if he got excited about a sport and really put himself into that, that would keep him from getting into trouble as a young man or teenager. So I'm very big on sports, all kinds of different sports, but football is certainly one of the most popular because it gives young people something clean and good to focus on and to aim towards to make something more of their lives. So that's a huge plus. Let's see. One of the things that I think football does is it actually grows our faith. I love that idea that on any given Sunday, any miracle can happen and any team can win that game. Not only that, it's my personal opinion that there's probably more praying that goes on football fields than on a lot of churches on Sundays. So if it's ever been your team and it's a tight game, I know that's a time when we all start praying. other things about football that are great is that it's a positive reminder. Well, there are many positive reminders, but I think football teaches us that if you work hard, the dividends can really be there. The payoff can be big. You know, I used to always watch a show on NFL called A Football Life. And that show was like a biography of different players, whoever was being featured that week. And one of the things I loved about the message of that show was many players have gone through incredible hardships. Either they've been injured many times or they've had difficulties in their family or in life in general. And yet, there's this beautiful thing that can happen when we don't let ourselves get defeated and when instead we persevere and we just keep doing what we can do to the best of our ability. And then can come that moment when we fly, when we soar, when we are playing our absolute best. And that's one of the things that I think we all think about the Super Bowl. It's the opportunity to see the two teams that worked through the whole season and came out on top. And now they're going up against each other. And so we all get excited because it's going to be a good contest. It's going to be a fun experience watching this game. It's going to be something that will make memories and that we will remember. And this year is no different. This year we have two incredible teams in the Super Bowl, the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, which is part of the reason why I'm wearing red today, because there's going to be a lot of red on that field. But I think that Super Bowl, it's kind of synonymous with any pinnacle moment in our lives, isn't it? You know, when we feel like, oh yeah, this is my Super Bowl. This is what I've been working so hard for all this time. So I thought it would be fun today to talk to somebody who's actually been in the Super Bowl and whose whole life really revolves around football. So don't go away, because in just a moment, Lynell Hamilton, who is a former Saint and the current president and national director of the NFL Alumni Association, he is going to be with us, and we are going to be talking football. So stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more Change It Up with Paula Shaw on AM 1170, The Answer.
Hi, Paula Shaw here. I'm so delighted to share with you that LifeWave has become our newest sponsor on Change It Up Radio. My family and I all use their tiny wearable patch technology, and the results are life-changing. My sister had lupus for over 20 years and has never slept well. Now she does. My mom's frozen shoulders simply went away. My favorite is the age-reversing X39, a patch engineered to activate stem cells. Yeah, it's true. They really work to improve how you look, feel, perform, and heal. LifeWave patches use a patented form of phototherapy, using frequencies of light to safely boost health and wellness at the cellular level with no drugs. Learn more online by visiting lifewave.com. That's lifewave.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Klein of One Trust Home Loans, Loan Coach Kelly. A while back, my business was in a slump, and it triggered a lot of self-doubt and fear, and it even had me questioning if I'd made the right career choice. So I booked a session with Paula Shaw, and after hearing my predicament, she explained that when we get into negative, self-sabotaging thinking, and we are being run over by our limiting beliefs, it's almost impossible to create positive outcomes. She helped me clear those destructive thoughts and beliefs using her cutting-edge energy psychology techniques. Not only did I feel a whole lot better after the session, but within 2 weeks, I had 7 loans in my pipeline. I was so glad that I went to see Paula Shaw, and you should too. It really changed my perspective on life, business, and now my business is going great. You can reach her at 626-864-0756. That's 626-864-0756. 626-864-0756. Or check her out at paulashaw.com. That's paulashaw.com.
Welcome back to Change It Up. Now here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Welcome back to Change It Up Radio. And as promised, I am in studio now with Lynell Hamilton.
Yes.
The man is in the room.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I enjoy it every time I come here. I think, was it 2 years ago or was it a year ago I was here?
I think you might have been on the show a year ago. 2 years ago, we were at a Super Bowl party together.
Okay, that's right.
A major Super
Yes,
Bowl party that the association put on.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Yeah, so we'll ask you a lot about all of that in
Okay.
a minute. But let's talk a little bit about these teams.
Yes.
We have some very interesting teams that have made it this year. And I think maybe first, we all know, or let's just say most people know, we're looking at the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
We're looking at two amazing quarterbacks
Mm-hmm.
and two amazing coaches. So it's set up to make quite a game, quite a spectacle, huh?
Yeah. It's you know what? The two teams. I always had the Chiefs to win the AFC.
You did.
Okay, I did.
Uh-huh.
I think everybody had that scare because the Patriots were doing so well.
Mhm.
I want to say maybe the first 7-8 games, and then the Ravens kind of just took it over. With their season as well.
Yeah.
And I thought the AFC Championship was going to be Chiefs versus Ravens.
Uh-huh.
And that was an unlucky situation. That did not happen. But then on the other side of NFC, I had no idea. I'm going to be honest. I had no idea the 49ers. And I think the 49ers knew this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Richard Sherman will go ahead and tell you that you guys did not have us to win any kind of NFC. You guys didn't even have us to win the NFC West. So that's what Richard Sherman would say. But when they beat the New Orleans Saints, which is my team, I had my team, New Orleans Saints, in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
They're always in the Super Bowl in my heart. I love the Saints.
Because it would have been the 10-year. We just had a 10-year reunion.
Oh.
If you recall, the last 3 years, they have just lucked out of the playoffs. We had the miracle by the Vikings, and then we had the situation with the no call from the Los Angeles Rams, and then this year, you could probably almost call it a no call again with the push off by Rudolph with the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I did, but you know what? I'm from Northern California. I'm from Stockton, California. So to see the 49ers in there is not a problem for me.
Yeah.
So I am happy for that fan base and for that team.
Oh, that's great. That's good. And you know what? I think all of California is happy that at least there's a California team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
right?
Even though you may have your own team, it's like, you know what? But we do have a representative of the West Coast. So it's we can't get mad at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were a California boy through and through. You grew up in Stockton. You went to college right here in San Diego. You were an Aztec, right?
I was, yeah.
And an Aztec of notoriety. You had like 58 scholarships
I had a lot of
offered
scholarships
you.
offered, yeah.
And some Big Ten schools and all
Yes.
that. And you ended up
I chose
choosing
I chose
San Diego
out of
State.
all of the schools. I got a lot of heat from it too. So
bet.
I mean, if you think about it back then, Michigan was a big one. Lloyd Carr would come to my school.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Hoke, the new head coach now for the Aztecs, again, he was the one that was actually recruiting me
No
to go
kidding.
to Michigan. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my
So
God,
He came
he
to
was-
my house. He brought Lloyd Carr out, and that was amazing. But Pete Carroll, Tedford, Bellotti, there's all
Wow.
the Pac-12 coaches will definitely be at my house. But you know, out of all of them, it's a long story now. I don't want to get into it, but I was told from my uncle, you want to choose a school, a college that you see yourself living in when football is all over. And when I
Oh.
visited San Diego, I seen this beautiful place, and I seen like so much, just so many different parts of it. From Old Town, downtown, beach. Then you have the Mexico, right, 20 minutes away.
Yep.
I'm glad I made a decision when I made it back then.
Well, we're glad you did too. Very, very glad. And didn't you come back after you graduated? And after you left the NFL and you assisted at
Yes, I did. Yeah. So I actually, once I got to New Orleans, I had went back home for maybe about 6 months and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then I got a call from Coach McDaniels. He said, "Yeah, we would love to have you, as a coach here at San Diego State. You can work on getting your master's and the whole deal." I said, "You know what? I'm not doing anything else right now. I'm kind of figuring things out, so why not?" And Yeah, I came back out here, and I'm glad I made the decision to come back out here. I realized I had a lot of what you call connections and a really good support system here, and I enjoyed not only the weather, but I enjoy the people here of San Diego. They keep me moving. I spend a lot more time with the youth, and that's what I do now too. You know, we have a lot of programs. Right now, we have an amazing program called NFL Leagues United. So it's a non-contact league. And it's for all kids from 5 to 14. It's a transitional league from flag to 7-on-7, then to 8-man, where kids could then prepare themselves for high school ball. So it's been great. It's been a good off season for a lot of teams that are contact teams that want to come in the spring and keep their team together and play amongst each other, but non-contact. It's been amazing for them because they can come over as a team, and it's very heavily discounted. So the goal is to keep kids active and keep them doing things, and to kind of, bring that love back to football, with all the concern of the CTE and all the, the hitting and things like that. But this is a non-contact, and this is a way that, we have a lot of NFL players involved, teaching them the proper way of pulling flags, which is the proper way of also tackling. So it's an amazing program.
So it's less dangerous. There's not the concussion possibility and all of that. That's so great. Yeah. I'm sure, and a relief to a lot of parents.
Well, this has been its fifth year here in San Diego. It'll be its fifth year.
Oh.
And fifth season, I'm sorry, and there has not been any problems at all. And not only do we now have an all-star game, our all-star game we play against the NFL Leagues United out of Mexico. So
really?
Mexico comes over. It was an amazing game last fall. Mexico came over with tons of fans. They had their flags. The U.S. team had their flags, and they had their jerseys, U.S. jerseys and Mexico jerseys. And it was beautiful to see them play amongst each other and against each other, and it was just peaceful.
And will that be happening again this fall?
Every year. We do it every year this spring. So it'll be this spring, but we do it every season we do that. It'll be an all-stars against their all-stars. And then the last game, we do a championship game against Drew Brees, the league. He has an F&A league.
Really? Oh, my goodness. You guys are doing such fabulous things.
NFLLeaguesUnited.com. Sign up. It's a really good, fun. A lot of my peers, a lot of the NFL players here in San Diego, their kids play for the league.
NFLLeaguesUnited.com. Yes. Okay, I want to make sure everybody gets that down. And it'll be in our show notes, too. So people can go on the website and check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put a link in there to your website.
Kids are wearing NFL jerseys. It's reversible, so away and a home team. It's amazing.
Oh,
it's a really
my goodness. This is so
program,
cool.
Yeah.
I know you're all about kids, and because you have a business also called Fast Play Athletics.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a bit about that, but one of the things I really want to mention is I loved seeing in your bio that your parents were very, very, very clear with you and encouraging that education was huge, that education would really make the difference in your success during and after football, right?
Huge. And so everything that I do, and I say we because, the NFL Alumni chapter here, we're a board of the players. And everything we do, we always, even with the league, that league is all about student athletes. Yes. So the coaches are former college players, NFL players too. The coaches are and directors. But we're all about teaching the kids to grow habits of being a student athlete. And growing up, I think I spoke about this before, I was a bit, not shy, but I was, what's the word? In class, I never wanted to read. I was very embarrassed because I wasn't up to par with my other students in class and reading.
Okay.
So, and that felt like that teacher would always point on me. So I would say probably from K through fourth grade, I was always shy about school, and I was always like, not a really great student, right? Until I picked up a football. And my first year of playing football, I got a record, like a Pop Warner record. It was like I had 36 touchdowns and like 2,500 yards rushing. And
you played as a running back.
I played running
professionally, and you also were as a child?
As a child. All my years as a child, I played running back position. And back then in the 90s, the running back position was the top position.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Right.
People, they weren't throwing the ball like they are today. So it was a position to be. And my confidence level risen just off of that one season.
Wow.
I felt like self-worth, right? And because of that self-worth, that confidence, I took that into school. So things would begin to change. I wouldn't have the greatest grades, but they would begin to change, and my education would become more important once I realized that, if I didn't have this, I would not be able to live out my dream. And that's really what pushed me. So, and there's kids out there that they just need to know their self-worth. Is it what's education? Why? What's it going to do for me, down the line, I'm being taken care of. They don't understand that, that, eventually you're going to be on your own, and these are the tools and these are the things that you need to know.
That's right.
So, and then if somebody says, no, in order for you to continue look like this is so we teach that, and not all the kids want to become professional football players, and maybe how some kids won't be able to even get there. But if we can trigger that idea of taking what you do on the football field, that competitiveness, that work ethic, and apply it to the classroom, so much your life, it's so much better.
Beautiful.
Right.
All right, and we have to go to a little break right now, but we will be back with more Lynell Hamilton, and I can't wait.
No problem.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
We'll be right back with more Change It Up with Paula Shaw on AM 1170, The Answer.
If you could rebuild your health on a solid foundation, would you do it? Do you have health issues that doctors just can't get to the bottom of, and all they do is prescribe pills to lessen your symptoms? Would you like a better way? Certified FDN practitioner Desiree Lawn founded Autoimmune Health Freedom because she struggled with health issues from childhood that could not be explained. Today, she lives a vibrant life, free of aches and pains and full of energy to enjoy activities with her family. The life you would like to live. How did she do it? Autoimmune Health Freedom has the tools you need. For a free discovery session, call 858-248-1657 or go to autoimmunehealthfreedom.com. That's autoimmunehealthfreedom.com. Yes, you can feel better again. You can rebuild your health. You can have the life you want. Call 858-248-1657.
Desiree Lawn is not licensed by the state of California as a healing arts practitioner.
Is living in today's fast-paced world making you feel stressed and out of balance? Are anxiety, sleeplessness, depression, lack of focus, or weight gain robbing you of your relationship and your energy? If you're ready for change, you need to call Paula Shaw. Paula helps you identify and eliminate self-sabotaging thinking and behavior. Using a wide variety of mind-body techniques, she provides her clients with the most effective processes for their specific needs. To book a session with Paula, call 858-480-9234. That's 858-480-9234.
Welcome back to Change It Up. Now here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Welcome back to Change It Up Radio. And I am in studio today with Lynell Hamilton, former Saint and current president and national director of the NFL Alumni Association. And yes, you guessed it, we're talking football if you're just joining us. So, Lynell, we've got this Super Bowl coming up, obviously. Everybody knows that. We've got a couple of amazing quarterbacks. And talk about change it up. These guys seem to be changing up the way quarterbacks operate because they run. They're doing your old job now. Right.
Well, I'll say this. I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan now. To watch what he does with the ball, and especially last game, he did show his running. And you would say maybe 5 years ago.
Didn't he score?
He scored. And you said maybe 5 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, guys would have teed off on him, like really blew him up. But you know what? He found his way in the end zone. He's, to me, Patrick Mahomes is a proven quarterback. I think, I don't want to pronounce the name wrong, but Garoppolo, yeah. Yeah, I think that he's a good quarterback, but I think he has not proven himself just yet. You know, he came from New England.
Where he was in the shadow of Tom Brady for years.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that I think he had 1 year that he really showed himself that, you know what, maybe the Patriots doesn't need Tom Brady, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's when they shipped him off. That's when Tom Brady was like, hey, we got to ship this guy out of here, right? So they shipped him off to 49ers. And I think that, you know, in the playoffs, you know, it's been a really great offensive coordinating by Shanahan in terms of not putting too much pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They've been running the ball really, really well and playing great defense. But I think that this game is probably going to be his first game this entire season where he's going to have to show just how good of a quarterback he is. Because, you know, Kansas City has the ability and the skill to put a lot of points on the board.
Yeah.
So it's going to really show, you know, can he come back from behind, or can he continue to lead?
Yes.
And continue not just run the ball, but, you know, putting that ball in the air.
Mm-hmm. And they've had an amazing season, 13-3.
Yes.
You know, so he hasn't had to come back from behind too often this season. You know, like of course we all remember the game a couple of games ago when the Chiefs were playing the Texans, 24-0, and they came back and won that game. It was crazy.
Yes, and that's what's going to happen. You know, I think that it almost felt like the same was going to happen with the Tennessee Titans, right? Where the Tennessee Titans got up maybe 14 or maybe 21-0.
Yeah.
Well, so you know what this offense, whether it's a 4-quarter offense, the Kansas City Chiefs, and they showed it all year. That defense is going to have to stay locked in on the 49ers side. Yeah. And they do have a great front with Bosa and Ford. And they have a pretty good back end with Richard Sherman and some other guys. But I do believe that this is going to be an exciting game. I think it's more exciting for me because I like new teams. And seeing the Patriots out, I'm sorry, Patriot fans, but we got to see new teams in here. We need to. You know, we have a team that has not been in the Super Bowl since 50 years ago. And then we have another one that hasn't shown any, you know, they've been in the Super Bowl with the Ravens in the 2000s, but 90s is where they want them. So, I mean, I think it's definitely a city and with everything going on in the Bay Area with, you know, Golden State leaving to another part of the Bay Area. It's so much movement happening. I think that, you know, either or, you know, I wouldn't be mad if 49ers won. Yeah. Definitely I wouldn't be mad at all. But I am going for the Chiefs because I want to see the respect for Andy Reid. And his coaching, his career. I think this will be amazing for him. Yes. I think this will be amazing for Patrick Mahomes and some of the other players that are on that squad. But I'm really pushing for Andy Reid to really win this one.
You know, I'm so glad you brought him up because I was doing a little due diligence on all this. Yeah. And, oh, my goodness, I got on Wikipedia, and there was so much about Andy Reid. Yeah. And in all those years he was with Philadelphia, even though they often won championships, they only won one Super Bowl. Yeah. And this man is incredible. Yes. In fact, one of the things I read was when the Chiefs were looking for a new quarterback, the owner said to several people, "Who's the coach that irritates everybody the most because of his attention to detail?" And they all said Andy Reid.
Yeah. I believe that. I totally believe that. He seems like that guy too. Attention to detail. You can see it at the quarterback play. With any quarterback he's always had, they've been that kind of a quarterback. Attention to detail. So I think this is going to be. I can't wait. We have a Super Bowl party going on at Park Nightclub, and I'm excited.
Is that the one that I went? I think that's the one I
was
at.
Yes, we'll have it again. It's going to be our 4th or 5th time doing it. Park Nightclub, they're amazing. Great venue, great people, party. Organization. Love the owners. Good people.
Yeah,
really
and that's right downtown, the Gas Lamp, right?
That's downtown, the Gas Lamp, yeah.
Very, very cool. So the other coach that we need to talk about a little bit is Shanahan. Yes. Like when he first, and here's something I thought was interesting. Garoppolo came on board with the Niners in 2017. Mahomes started playing with the Chiefs in 2017. And Shanahan came on board in 2017. So all these people haven't been necessarily with these teams that long.
For a long time, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? That's pretty unique, and I'm glad you brought that up too, because these are you know, players and coaches that are with organizations that haven't been there that long, and look at them together in a Super Bowl. So you ask yourself, like, how, you know, I think times are starting to change now. You know, where you have, I don't know if you're going to have a dynasty like the Patriots much longer like that, you know? Especially with free agency. You lose players, and with the possibility of Tom Brady probably even leaving too. We'll see what happens with that situation. But I think you're going to see more teams get opportunities to prove themselves. I think the Tennessee Titans, what they did was just unbelievable as well with the new coach. So I think that I'm excited about NFL moving forward.
Change it up.
Change it up.
Really, happening out there, right?
Change it up, and times are going to change now. You're going to see new quarterbacks now, like you see Lamar Jackson now. You're going to start seeing a lot of difference when you start seeing guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers begin to, retire. So who's the next ones? I think you're starting to see the next ones, I think Russell Wilson's going to be one of those veteran guys now. It's like, we're talking about Tom, 40, 42. Like
42.
Years old.
Yep.
You're going to see, is Russell Wilson going to be the same way, trying to stick around to his 40s? So it's going to be really good football, good changing coming up these next couple of years.
So I got a question about quarterbacks. Like this shift that's happening now where they're becoming more physical. They're running. Is that just because of the individuals like Garoppolo and Mahomes, or are they being coached to be more physical now and doing more of that?
You have guys like Mahomes, and so I kind of put them into different categories, right? So you have guys that can play action, run the ball a little bit, which is like Russell Wilson,
right?
Mahomes. They're still real quarterbacks, but they can also scramble and run with the ball like Aaron Rodgers, right? But then you guys, but then now you're starting to see possible running backs that can throw the ball really well. And that's where you have a Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson. These are kids that probably, started off playing the running back position, but didn't have the ability to throw the ball.
Wow.
So it's, now I think that coaching now is going to be one of those cases where, you may see a kid that, at the youth level that can, man, he's a great running back. Hey, let's put you at the quarterback position now. Let's see if you can go ahead and be a dual threat. Where before it's like, okay, I got to have him at the running back position because he can run the ball, and you got to find a quarterback. Maybe you put him as a leader and put him at the quarterback position and let him do both. So I think things are going to change up a little bit.
Yeah, the game is definitely changing, and I think for the better. It's exciting.
Well, just like basketball, right? It's like the NBA. Now you have your fives, which are your centers. They're shooting the three now. So it's like, so everything is starting to, these positions are kind of getting, meshed together now, where you have, even they use the tackles now. Offensive linemen, they use the left tackles now to even catch balls tight end. So it's starting like these positions are starting to mesh, and they're taking advantage of the matchups, and when it comes to just real chess play in football.
Yeah. And speaking of change, because next segment, I really want to talk about everything that you're doing. But what do you think about the XFL?
Oh, yeah.
Change.
It's a change. It's a change. I think that we had a little taste of spring football with Alliance, and we hated the Lions had, folded like it did. I'm hearing that the XFL learned a lot from what they did, and they prepared themselves not to deal with that. We don't want to go through that process again. So I'm excited for it. I think it gives another opportunity for players that didn't quite make the NFL or don't want to go to Canada and play ball.
Yes.
It allows them to stay here in the States and be with their families and actually play football. And I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting idea. Yeah. Now, do they dream at this point, because it's new, so it's got to be a dream of one day being as big as the NFL, or is it important to people?
Well, I think the NFL is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that, that's always going to be the granddad or the daddy to this other league. But I think this, and I don't know if they're looking for that. I mean, they possibly could want to compete, but I think it's going to be a little bit hard of a competition here. I think they'll be well off being in their own lane in the springtime, and begin to try to cater to fans that are just straight football fans.
Yes,
they love football
24/7.
They love football all year round.
Yep.
And there's a lot of those in here in America. So I think that they'll do just fine in this lane here.
Yeah.
Being in the spring and being able to have great contracts where, players that are, did really well in college, but didn't quite make the NFL for whatever reasons.
Right.
They can get some of these big time guys and let them play for the XFL.
I love it.
Because a lot of the schools, like San Diego State guys, are guys that went to Alabama that didn't make the NFL, but they're still great players being in that great conference, right? They're playing now with the XFL, and these are great athletes and great football still being played.
All right, and we've got to go to a break right now, but we'll be back in just a moment with more of Lynell Hamilton.
No problem.
We'll be right back with more Change It Up with Paula Shaw on AM 1170, The Answer.
Survived World War II and then returned home to the hardest fight of his life with PTSD and alcoholism. Now at age 93, he's a businessman and comedian, sharing his message of recovery and hope in his new book, One Veteran's Journey to Heal the Wounds of War, helping our heroes and anyone who has experienced PTSD find happiness again. Get Jack Gutman's new book, One Veteran's Journey to Heal the Wounds of War, at Amazon.com, or to order a signed copy, call 714-525-4954.
For those looking to improve their lives, there's nobody better to turn to than Paula Shaw. Paula helps people regain successful lives by identifying and eliminating self-sabotaging behavior using a multitude of mind-body techniques to identify and resolve their core issues. Working with a wide variety of healing modalities, she provides her clients with the most effective process for their specific needs. To book a session with Paula, call 858-480-9234. That's 858-480-9234.
Welcome back to Change It Up. Now here's your host, Paula Shaw.
Okay, we're back. Welcome back to Change It Up Radio. I'm Paula Shaw, and in studio with me today is my very special guest, Lynell Hamilton, former Saint and current president of the San Diego chapter of the NFL Alumni Association and national director of that association. As if you didn't have enough to do already.
Right. Well, I enjoy being a part of the board as a director with programs, and it keeps my days going.
Busy, I'm sure.
Busy and going.
Oh my goodness. You've got a ton on your plate. You've also got a company called Fast Play Athletics, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, I started that company back in 2014 with I was a co-founder with Brett Swain, a good teammate of mine. We came into San Diego State together in 2003, and then we both graduated and got picked up by teams, and we both won a Super Bowl. He won his Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. I won mine with New Orleans Saints. It was like beautiful. I won Saints, and the next year he won his Packers. So we started a company basically to help players that was transitioning out of the NFL but wanted to get into training and training other athletes, whether it was high school, college, and younger NFL players. So we got into training guys into the draft. That's how we kind of started. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing opportunity. I've opened it up a little further out now. We do programs now for Solana Beach, Encinitas, and Del Mar and San Diego Unified School District.
With what age kids?
Well, it's age grades start at I have some first graders. So it's from first years. These are grade. This is it was K through 6, but now it's first grade through 6 now for the school district. Yeah.
And what kinds of things are you doing with these kids? Because originally, if I understand it, you had position-specific coaching for kids who showed promise, right?
We
like
still have
older
that.
kids.
Yes.
Okay.
So we still have that. Those are high school kids that show promise, that they want to work on specific positional drills, and different coaches that played in the NFL that play those positions, they train them. But this is the school side of it is it's really one-on-one football, and really just teaching kids to be physically being active. They love football. They love playing football. Get into teams, throwing the ball around. So we have a flag programs at these schools as well. So it's been a great. I coach them. I let them play football, but then I coach them along the way, and they enjoy it. They're having fun, and they're also learning.
And I think it's important to point out that when you're coaching football, that you're also teaching life lessons, aren't you? And teamwork.
Yes.
Right?
One of my biggest ones with the youth is, get off and dust it off. Throw some dirt on it. Because they're learning the game of football, and sometimes you're going to fall down and get back up. And I think for any father, we do that on the regular. We always want to teach our sons how to be men. It's been amazing. It's been amazing seeing those kids get up and they'll just hop up now and they drop a ball. They know they do 2 push-ups, and it's been
That's
amazing teaching discipline, teaching responsibility and teamwork.
Yeah, and not letting defeat stop you, but
Yes.
persisting.
Yes.
I think that's such an important lesson that sports can teach.
Yeah, I think as coaches, it's always good to do the teach more, and not necessarily about the wins and losses. Meaning, teach more about why did you win that game? Why did you lose that game? So they could remind them that this in sports in general, it's a thinking's game. It's a thinking man's game. There's a huge physical component.
I love that.
But the ones that
Thinking
are
man's
faster to think about what they're doing and why they're doing it at a young age, they'll find themselves doing that throughout high school and throughout college. And then at that point, you're a smart young man.
Important life lessons.
Yes.
So what's the NFL Alumni Association up to here in San Diego?
Oh my goodness. This would be going on my 3rd year as a president here.
I know. I'm blown away because the first time you and I met, it was your first year.
First year, yeah.
And you're sticking it out.
And I had so many different ideas
growing
and
it.
different things.
Yeah.
And I've been blessed to be able to have great people out here in San Diego to support me and help me do this. And every thought I had, every idea, I actually did it. And it was successful. And that's not normal, especially when you're dealing with a nonprofit and charity. Sometimes you're going to have your hiccups like, oh, this didn't make enough money. Oh,
yeah.
And it's been a really, really great opportunity, and I enjoy it. So here in San Diego, we have so much we're doing. To start off the year, we have our wellness events, and we just had our financial wellness event with Marshall Falk and his company Virtuity, and the 6 Degrees event that actually we kind of merged together. And 6 Degrees was amazing. It helped us putting on this event. But that was in January this month. Next month's going to be our physical and health wellness event.
Oh.
It's going to happen in Crosby Center, Escondido. So it's going to be brain scanning. It's going to be sports medicine, massage therapy, different players, all the players coming out to get these services and kind of teach them about some things that they can get involved in for better health, mental health, and physical health.
Great.
So it's going to be great. And then our third one is going to be spiritual wellness with a component of occupational. Yeah, so working with some players that want to get into some of these fields. So,
and these are programs that the NFL alumni guys can take part in.
Yes, these are programs that NFL alumni players and associate members can take part in.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
I'm an associate
Yes,
member.
you are, and they can bring their spouses as well. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So it'll be out there. We continue to share through our letter, our monthly letter, and national emails. We'll begin to continue to share that information, and through you, if you want to go ahead and share with the public. Some things that we're doing. But in terms of this weekend, which is our Super Bowl extravaganza, I started that last year. We had 4 events last year. So this year we're going to have, we had 5 events last year. We're going to have 4 events this year. We're doing our Bowling with the Stars. That's going to happen this coming up Sunday.
Bowling with the Stars?
Pro Bowl watch party at East Village Tavern plus Bowl. That's going to be downtown. And it's an amazing opportunity. The Chargers was doing it with Curtis Green for like 14 years when they left, and Curtis kept it going. But now we picked it up about a year ago, and it's our 2nd year doing it with Curtis and the group. And it's gonna be amazing. It's a good opportunity to bring out kids, underprivileged and at-risk kids, to come out and bowl with a lot of our NFL players, radio hosts, any celebrities. We have some actors coming out. So to enjoy themselves with the kids. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, that's super. And it's a fundraiser, correct?
It's a so it's a fundraiser, yes. So it's each lane, we have 12 lanes. Each lane is being sponsored by 500 by companies. And then it's, we definitely have information online, and we'll share that with you at the NFLalumni.com.
NFLalumni.com.
NFL Alumni San Diego chapter,
Oh, okay. So let's give them that one more time.
NFL Alumni San Diego chapter.com.
Beautiful.
And then also we have our camp, our football camp for kids. So this will be our 6th year doing that.
Oh.
So Super Bowl camp for kids, a free event at Claremont High School. That'll be going out as well.
And when is that?
That's going to be February 1st from 10 to 1.
Oh, it's starting right away.
Yep, 10 a.m.
It's a one-day event?
It's a one-day event. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there's going to be tons of NFL players out there coaching the kids up one-on-one, teaching them different drills, things like that.
And is it open to any kid, or did they have to apply? Or
all kids between ages of 5 and 14. 5 and 14. We'll be giving out scholarships for different, football events and scholarships for different programs. So that'll be fun.
So great.
Then we finish off with 2 more events, which is going to be our viewing party. That's going to happen Super Bowl day at Park Nightclub. Mm-hmm. And then our last event is our golf event, February 7th, to be a week after Super Bowl.
My goodness.
That way we get
you must be busy these days.
That way we get all our players that went to Miami, like, a lot of our Hall of Famers. We have about 9 Hall of Famers that live here in San Diego now. Uh-huh. They love to go to the Super Bowl, so we're going to have all of them back in time to go ahead and be a part of this event.
Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah. So 4 things you've got coming up. Starting with Bowling with the Stars.
This Sunday.
Then the camp, which day?
Football camp.
Football camp.
February 1st, Saturday. That's the day before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the golf tournament afterwards.
Afterwards. We got the viewing party, too, now.
And the viewing party on Super Bowl day.
On Super Bowl day.
And I have to say, as somebody who has been to the viewing party, that is some kind of party.
It's live.
Oh,
it's
my
live.
God.
Yeah. It's live. It has everything you need.
Yes. And will you be doing the 2 floors again? One where the children are and the families? And
it looks that way. But we'll for sure always have the top floor.
Yeah.
We'll always have the top floor going. But it looks that way that we will possibly have the downstairs as well. We're waiting for a couple more sponsors, but we'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I know this has just been so much fun for me, and I so adore everything you're doing and who you are. And I know you've got a lot of great blessings in your life right now. 3 healthy kids.
Yes, doing amazing too. All 3 of them.
Oh, I'm so delighted. I
know my daughters, my oldest daughters, last year at Wichita State University.
Nobody would believe you have a daughter who's graduating from college.
Yeah, she's doing amazing. Straight A student in college. President of her group, and she runs track. She's a track athlete too. So I'm gonna surprise her and go out there in February to see her.
Good for you.
Yeah, so it's going to be good.
Well, so obviously the values your parents tried to instill in you of dedicating yourself to something, being persistent, and getting your education, you pass that on to your children. It's beautiful.
Yes, no, and it's like I said, it's an amazing thing to see them grow and see them, take on that same mindset, right? Whether it's sports, whether it's education, that this is what they want. And the faster it gets there is like, I'm amazed. I'm proud of them.
Well, you should be.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for gracing our show with your presence today. You've been a delight and amazing and great fun.
All right.
All right. And thank you to our viewers and listeners. You can find us here on AM 1170 and 96.1 FM every Sunday evening at 9 o'clock. And we podcast this show. It's on every major podcast platform. You can also get information about it on changeitupradio.com. You'll have the archive shows, show notes, everything right there on changeitupradio.com. And if you want more information about me or my work, you'll find that on paulashaw.com. Or if you're looking for a speaker for an event, you can get information on me speaking at paulashawspeaks.com. So please subscribe to our show. We'd love it if you review our show. And most of all, we'd love it if you share it. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Change It Up with life transitions expert, speaker, and best-selling author, Paula Shaw. Join the Change It Up movement with Paula Shaw as we explore topics that inspire, welcome change, and create a new kind of conversation. To learn more about Paula, how to be a guest on the show, and sponsorship opportunities, visit changeitupradio.com. Whether you're feeling happy, sad, mad, or glad, it never hurts to change it up.
He did a lot of the NFL leagues, but he got so heavy with work.
All right. Thank you, Facebook live stream viewers. We loved having you with us.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Say goodbye to the folks.
Hey, enjoy this game coming up with the Chiefs and the 49ers, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Yes, and you definitely must come back because we have a lot to talk about that we didn't get to.
We do.
All right.
All right.
Deal. All right. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. All right. Cool. Oh, you're
We
going
have
to
to do
do
it.
the picture? Would you, can you, we've got to turn that off and close it first.
You want to take with the light right here?
I think you have to post, let me come around, Stacy. Because if you don't post it, we lose it.